It's about a group of college kids who literally murder someone for the aesthetic. Hey everyone, welcome to another video. It's gonna be so much fun to participate in another 24-hour readathon because I'm in a really big reading mood right now, so it's quite literally the perfect timing to do this. I'm gonna start at 5 p.m. It's already 4:53, so I have a couple more minutes left. I'm just gonna go from 5 p.m. today to 5 p.m. the next day. I'm gonna try to stay up as late as I can. I'm not gonna do a 24-hour timer, but I do want to time myself when I'm actually reading. I'm just really curious to see how many hours within the 24-hour time period I'm actually reading for, because obviously I'm not going to read for all of 24 hours straight, you know, like I'm gonna have to take breaks. It would be really interesting to see at the end of the 24-hour period how many hours I actually read. But obviously the entire goal of this video is to read as much as I can. I am gonna try my best not to get distracted, but disclaimer, I do have ADHD, so it's gonna be a challenge, but it's doable. Starting off with my tentative TBR today. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick to this, but I mean, I'm definitely going to read this one. I have The Secret History here. I only have like 120 pages left. I'm literally on the last chapter of this book. I'm going to be finishing this. I'm going to start with this book because I need to know what's going on. The next book is Addicted After All by Chris and Becca Ritchie. This is the final book in the Addicted series, Lillian Lowe's last book. I'm so excited, but I'm also really scared because I am not ready to say goodbye to these characters. Obviously we still have the Calloway books, so we're still gonna see them, but they're my favorite couple in the entire Addicted Calloway universe, so I've been putting this off, but I think it's time. I want to move on with this series. I'm pretty confident that I can finish these two books, especially since I only have like 120 pages left of The Secret History. I'm gonna add some more books on the possible TBR. I'm gonna read a book on my Kindle. I have Nessie by Susanna Clark downloaded on here. I might try to finish that as well, since that's like a really short book. I think it's only like 200 something pages. So there you go. We have 2 physical books and a Kindle book. If I finish those 3 books, I want to finally finish Jane Eyre, or maybe not finish, but I want to continue reading Jane Eyre. But this is not a priority book. I'm not going to be mad if I don't get to this right now, because I'm also not trying to rush reading this book. But yeah, let's get on to the video. Oh my god, I only have 1 minute left. So oh, there you go. Time to start reading. Beauty is terror, according to Richard Papin. And oh my god, this book is so good. It's about a group of college kids who literally murder someone for the aesthetic. That's the best way to describe it without like going too in depth, because I have so many thoughts about this book. First of all, I think I already said this, but I absolutely love Donna Tartt's prose. I could get lost in her words. Super vivid descriptions, really complicated characters. All of these characters are pretty much a definition of unlikable characters. There's not really a single one of them that you can say that like, yeah, I love that person, but I say that in the best way. Richard Papin is a very interesting man. There's a big chunk of this book when he was literally delirious from the cold and like almost dying from hypothermia. His voice really sounded like Wednesday Addams, specifically Jenna Ortega's Wednesday Addams. That was when it really clicked with me. This book is making fun. The classics, basically. It's poking fun at academia, people who just take shit way too fucking seriously, basically. It's also really interesting how a lot of it is structured very much like a Greek tragedy, which I think is appropriate given that Greek is basically where everything started for Richard Papin. I love this book so much. I think this is one of my favorite books of all time at this point. It's definitely up there. I love it. Oh my god, it's so good. I definitely have to sit with my thoughts for a minute. This is the difficult part about doing readathons. It's so difficult for me to come off of a story and then start a new one right away, especially when they're this good, because I like to sit with my thoughts and sit with my feelings and think for a minute before going into another story. Wow, It's so good. It's so well freaking done. It's already 8:58 and I've only read for 2 hours and 21 minutes. So it took me 2 hours and 21 minutes to finish up this book. I was taking my time with it and I obviously had a great time. I think I need something lighter and something easier. So I think this is what I'm gonna start next, but I need a minute before I pick this book up. I need to collect my thoughts. It's 11:20 p.m. and I have made a decent dent on Addicted After All. I've been reading this for 1 hour and 45 minutes so far and I'm on page 129, chapter 15. So making decent progress. Like, it's really weird switching from a classic, well, a modern classic, but a classic nonetheless, to contemporary romance. Obviously this reads so much quicker. My brain is still on reading classic mode. There are parts of this that I'm kind of over analyzing, but at the same time, at least I'm conscious of the fact that my brain is doing that, so I need to just calm down and just, you know, enjoy it for what it is. But one thing that I do want to say about these books is, especially the Addicted books, not so much the Calloway books, those have kind of like a different vibe when it comes to smut. The smut in these books, I love how they're not just completely gratuitous. Don't get me wrong, there are some scenes, not in this book so far, but in the other books, there are some like smut scenes that did feel very gratuitous. In this one in particular, the smut itself has a lot of heart and it's not just showing smut for the sake of showing smut. There's so much emotion attached to it, especially since Lily is a sex addict. I think it just makes sense to write it in this way where it's not just sex, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of the emotions during sex. It's already 11. I'm gonna try to stay up as long as I can. I think I can finish this tonight without going to sleep. I don't want to speak too soon because this book is 557 pages. I still can't stop thinking about this and I just wish that I can continue to sit here and think about this book, but I made the mistake of finishing this book during this challenge. I can't do that. That's okay because I don't think I'm gonna stop thinking about this book for a long time. Even now, like, I'm talking about this book and I just had to bring this up again. But yeah, that's my update for now. I think I'm gonna get ready for bed. No, that sounds dangerous because then I might fall asleep. I'm gonna read a little bit more and then maybe get ready for bed after I reach the halfway point. Hey guys, it is currently 3:49 a.m. I'm almost done with Addicted After All. I had to take a little bit of a break to get ready for bed, take a shower, all that stuff. I can't think anymore. I still have I'm on page 415. This much left, over 100 pages. I'm contemplating if I should go finish this tonight, like I said I was going to, or just wait until tomorrow because I'm so close. The problem is I'm not sleepy, but my eyes are really tired, which makes it really hard to read, obviously. I could also continue reading it on my Kindle because I do have it checked out on Libby. I could do that, but the problem is I want to annotate it. But either way, this is going to be my last update for the night. I will see you guys in the morning. I'll let you know then what I ended up doing. Hey guys, it's the next day. It's actually already 2:08 p.m. I only have less than 3 hours left of this readathon today, but I just want to quickly talk about Addicted After All, which I did finish last night. Well, I guess this morning before I went to bed. I finished it around 5:30 and I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. But before we get into it, this is why I started tracking this. This is my summary, I guess, of the reading time. It's close to 600 pages and it only took me 5 hours and 24 minutes. I was stopping to annotate and everything, so that's not bad at all. I'm happy with that. However, as you can see here, I did start reading this book at 9:31 p.m. and it didn't finish until 5:29. It took me 8 hours in total to get through this book. I took 2 hours and 33 minutes of break time, which is spread out across like 8 different breaks. That's still quite a bit of breaks. And also it says here that for almost 2 hours I was multitasking, which usually means that I picked up my phone and I was doing something on my phone while the timer was running. I don't know what I was doing for those 2 hours. This goes to show you that I get distracted very easily. But also, like, I don't think that that's a bad thing though. 2 hours and 33 minutes. I feel like that's definitely less breaks than I would normally take. If I wasn't doing this readathon, I definitely would have gotten more distracted. So that's not terrible. Again, I do have ADHD, so especially when I get distracted or I have to go do something really quick and then go back to my reading, it takes me a second to like make myself go back to reading. I think this is interesting insight. Anyways, that's enough about the stats. Let's talk Addicted After All. Kovu, please shut the fuck up. Thank you. But I did end up giving Addicted After All a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought, dogs. But anyways, I did end up giving Addicted After All a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a great conclusion to Lily and Lo's story. There's just so much progress that was made across all of the characters, not just with Lily and Lo. We saw a lot of progress with Jonathan Hale, who in my opinion is one of the most interesting characters in the book. Jonathan is the parent that we see the most, obviously, but we don't get to see much of Greg or Samantha. I think they made like pretty interesting progress. Obviously, like I said, it's not perfect. There's still a lot, you know, that they need to work through, but it's satisfying enough and it's realistic enough. Obviously progress isn't linear, and that's something that this entire series was very good at showing us. There were many times where they all felt hopeless, but they kept on going and they just made such great improvement from book 1, Lily and Lo. Even though yes, they're not perfect, they still make mistakes and they're still figuring it out, but in the little things that they do, they both make a lot of choices that Lily and Lo in book 1 would have never made. It's not even like in the most obvious things. In this book, they were going through like this really big change. It's not just with that, it's with everything else. How they handle stress and the stressors of life is so different from how they would have handled it before. And I think they also both now really embrace their family, really embrace the help of their loved ones, whereas book 1, Lily and Lo would have never, like, they isolated themselves for a reason because they didn't want to seek for help. But now they're so open about asking for help. They're so open about talking about their issues with other people, with the people that they love. I don't know, like their character development is so well done because it's not completely unrealistic. Like they're not unrealistically perfect. Like they're just perfectly flawed, if that makes sense. Every single time that I go back to reading Addicted Calloway books, I always feel like I'm going to see old friends that I haven't seen in a while. They feel like real people. They're so well-rounded and well fleshed out. Not just the core 6, but even the side characters, they also all feel very real. They have very distinct personalities, and I think that's really the best part of this series. Oh, it's so good. It's such a change of tone from The Secret History. Once I got into it, I'm like, yeah, it hit all of the marks, and I'm so just, I don't know, I'm really happy. And there's also a lot of like little moments in the book where they referenced all of the book titles. There was a moment where Lo was talking about Addicted to You. I think it was Lily actually who said Addicted to You. Somebody said Addicted After All. And then towards the end, one of them said Some Kind of Perfect, which is the title of the epilogue novel. And I love when there's like little nuggets like that. I'm very happy with this readathon, although I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to finish another book because it's now 2:18. So I've been talking for 10 minutes at this point, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish Piranesi in this time period. I know it is a shorter book, but I do have to get into the story first, so we'll see. Right now I have to go cook rice because if you guys have Asian ones, I'm sure you guys understand. Here's my rice. I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, ignore my Halloween gnome. I still have it up. I haven't put him away. I might keep him there for the rest of the year. Anyways, it is now 5:07 p.m. which means that this readathon is officially over. Well, it was over 7 minutes ago, but I spent the last 7 minutes trying to figure out how to pull up my flipped because I accidentally X'd out of it before I screenshotted my stat. Nothing would load on it, but I can't talk about my stats. I made it to page 112 of Pure Nessie. It says here that it's 49%. So far, I'm really liking it. I honestly went into this book knowing absolutely nothing. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know what this book was about because people have said to go into this world knowing absolutely nothing and just immerse yourself in it. I definitely agree with that consensus. I'm just starting to kind of get an idea of what the hell is going on here, but there's certainly still a lot of questions unanswered. I didn't expect for Pure Nessie to be who he is. I honestly don't have too many thoughts about this right now since I'm not done with it. It's really difficult to speak on it. So far, it seems to be the main message of this book is to learn to be comfortable with your ignorance and just to accept the fact that you're always going to be ignorant. The search for this greater knowledge is just ultimately going to lead you to unhappiness, really. There's no way for one man to truly gain like the ultimate knowledge. There's no one person that is capable of becoming the ultimate intellectual. Everybody's gonna have their weak points, and it's basically impossible for you to completely understand everything, and there are just some things that you need to let go and you just need to let it be and accept the fact that you're never gonna know that thing, you're never gonna understand that thing, you're never gonna acquire this knowledge of everything in the whole universe because the world is complex and it's ever changing and it's not meant to be fully understood, but it's meant to be just appreciated for what it is. So far, that's what I'm getting from this book. That's the very last quote that I highlighted, and it says, "It does not matter that you do not understand the reason. You are the beloved child of the house. Be comforted. I am comforted." Let's talk stats a little bit, although this is going to be kind of inaccurate because I don't have the exact number for how long I've been reading this book. I apologize for that. I read a total of 792 pages for approximately a total of 9 hours and 20 minutes within this 24-hour time period. So as you can see, 9 hours of reading, not even 50% of 24 hours. So I definitely got distracted, but I also had to do some errands and these little things that I guess added up to a much longer, well, I also slept. I feel like the entire purpose of a 24-hour readathon is to read more than you would read within a 24-hour time period normally, and I think I accomplished that. You know, I finished 2 books and read half of another one, so that's definitely a lot more than I would read in a typical 24-hour time period, so I am very happy about that. It makes me wonder how many books I can actually read if I read for the entire 24-hour period. I might do that. I kind of want to do that video where I read for like, I time myself and read until I reach 24 hours of reading time so I can see the stats. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, do your thing. I'll see you guys on the next one.